ratings and review of last night's Dynamite. Let's talk about that a little bit. I did watch the show. Actually, I watched it this morning. I recorded it last night, got up about 4:30 this morning, and about 5 o'clock started watching it. And primarily because I wanted to see Jeff's match with Bryan Danielson. Really, hats off, nothing but respect for Jeff. Again, I don't talk to Jeff because he's there at AEW, and I don't want to create any issues or the perception of issues. So I don't talk to Jeff. Conrad talks to Jeff. I don't talk to Jeff. I like Jeff. I like Karen. I like Cody. But nonetheless, I haven't talked to Jeff. But I was curious. Jeff's been around a long time, man. He's been around forever. And I was really curious to see what this match was going to look like. And I'm generally a fan, or used to be a fan of Bryan Danielson. I've kind of lost interest in him over the last year and a half. I'll talk about why. I still think he's a phenomenal performer and has all the potential in the world. But the direction that he's been taking with this hardcore Japanese presentation is just completely unimpressive to me. It just doesn't matter. It certainly is not a reflection of what Bryan Danielson is capable of doing. It's not a reflection of the art. It's just something that apparently a lot of people in AEW have, because you see it all the time, those ridiculously fake, phony looking bullshit chop fest, forearm fests, where they stand there and just beat on each other. I get it every once in a while, but are you kidding me? It's just ridiculous. And I think it overshadows so much, and particularly in Bryan's case, what he's capable of doing in terms of a more traditional type of match. And that's what I was hoping I was going to see. But instead, I saw what is essentially a hardcore anything goes match, falls count anywhere garbage match. That's what it was. It did not show me the best of what Jeff Jarrett is capable of doing, because Jeff is one of the best in terms of telling a story in the ring. He really, really is. Of all the people that I've worked with over the last 30 years, if I was running a wrestling company today and I wanted somebody working with me that could really lay out matches and bring stories to the match that reflect the story that we use to set up the match, it would be Jeff Jarrett. He's really, really experienced and has a great feel and a unique talent for that particular form of the art. But instead, we got a falls count anywhere match, which, by the way, tell that referee to get the hell away from the camera. That I can't remember her name, but the referee, whatever her name is, it's like she's just mugging for the camera 100% of the time. A referee should be like the garnish on a plate. Shouldn't see it. Just be, there it is over there, and just sweep it off the plate. She's like in every shot. Ooh, she's selling everything. It's so distracting and so phony looking that it actually takes away from the match. Why is not somebody within the AEW pointing that out? Because other people are. I'm not the only one that feels this way. She is absolutely horrible. Send her to referee school. Somebody sit her down and go, girl, it's not about you. It really isn't about you. It's about the match. And you're only in the shot when it's absolutely necessary, and then get the hell out of the shot. She's right there. She's like Jimmy Hart used to do that all the time. Anytime Hulk Hogan was doing a promo, Jimmy'd be like looking up over his shoulder, hey, over here. Hey. She's like the Jimmy Hart of referees. She's gonna find a way to get her mug into any shot she can. It's actually comical if it wasn't so detrimental to the product itself. But nobody's saying anything about it. Just letting it happen. That's cool. She likes to do it. We'll let her do it. Unbelievable. What did they deliver last night? 622,000 viewers with an open of 832,000. They averaged 200,000 less. Is that it? Yeah, 200,000 less viewers than they opened up with as an average. I'm sorry, that's got nothing to do with the Olympics, Dave Meltzer, who is another reason why so many people are down on AEW, because Dave is a surrogate for his buddy Tony Khan and his two best buddies who named a wrestling move after him. Whatever the Jackson kids, whoever they are now. And Dave Meltzer tries so hard to make excuses for AEW that it actually brings disdain from the general audience because everybody can see through his bullshit but Dave. He actually thinks he's good at it. And he's not. It's so transparent. It's ridiculous. And the harder Dave Meltzer and people like him, including the ridiculous fan base of AEW who are on social media, not all AEW fans, but the loud ones, the noisiest ones who we find on social media, who defend absolutely everything under any circumstances. They just don't get it. They don't get it. 622,000 people watched that show. We're getting to the point where by this time next summer, well, by this time next year, late summer, I'll be able to do a YouTube cooking show live. Like I'll just cook up a couple steaks on a grill and I'll live stream it and I'll come pretty close. That's how bad it is. And it's not everybody else's fault, Tony. It's your fault. You're not a booker. You're never going to be recognized as anybody who's had a long-lasting impact on the wrestling industry. You haven't changed anything. You've provided a lot of income to a lot of people. We're always going to be grateful to you for that. You made some people millionaires that would otherwise never be even close to thinking about how to do that. And I'm happy for them. And they should be grateful to you. But other than spending a shit ton of money in a business that you're no good at, that's the legacy of AEW and Tony Khan. It will be. Unless something changes rapidly. Which brings me to Shane McMahon. I forgot all about that. It wasn't even on my list to talk about, but how fun was that? Shane McMahon, Tony Khan in the room. Whoa, that's exciting. Let's create some excitement. I don't know if anything will happen. I don't know what the meeting was about. I like Shane. I respect Shane. I would have liked to work more with Shane. I got to work with him a little bit in 2019 in his program with Kevin Owens. That was fun for me. I really enjoyed working with Kevin and Shane. By the way, Dave Meltzer made a comment about me and how I ruined WCW, and I believe that Kevin Owens would never be a top star. Not true. I've always put Kevin Owens over. I don't know where Dave Meltzer gets his shit like that. Those words never came out of my mouth, ever. In fact, always the opposite, because I really, really admire Kevin, enjoy his work, and think he's capable of doing even more than he has. So where Dave Meltzer makes up his stuff or gets it from is beyond me. But I did see the comment. I thought it was appropriate to bring it up. But yeah, Shane, hey, maybe, I don't know what Shane's into right now. I know he was into a lot of distribution over in China, and perhaps that was a conversation, which would make sense. Perhaps Shane feels like he's got something to prove. I can't imagine Shane working closely with Tony Khan. There's just an oil and water thing going on there. Maybe. Hopefully. I think any kind of influence right now would be a positive for AEW, because if they're able to get a renewal, which is up in the air at this point for all the reasons we've already talked about, if they are indeed able to get a renewal, what is that going to accomplish? They're going to continue losing audience until nobody shows up.